Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I want to discuss The Host, a Korean movie that first came out in 2006 in Korea, directed by, and excuse me if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, but Bong Joon-ho. One might recognize him as the director for Parasite, and more recently, a critically acclaimed movie that was actually nominated for multiple awards. But The Host, I'm not sure on what number it'll be in John Ho's discography, not discography, excuse me, filmography. But I do believe it's one of his earlier films that he worked on. And I have to say, this is a film that I have rewatched at least 4 times now. The first time I watched it, I was fortunate enough that my mom actually took me to watch it at an independent theater, so I was able to watch it in theaters. Which was pretty cool. And the next 2 times that I watched it was again with friends, family, and then again on my own. The most recent rewatch, I watched it on my own, and I have to say that this is definitely a movie. No wonder I keep coming back to it. To be frank with everyone, I made the choice to rewatch it a bit randomly. I didn't know what to do with my free time, and I was just browsing through my streaming services, and I was on Amazon Prime at the time. I don't know why specifically, and I noticed that The Host was on that service, and I made the choice just to go ahead and watch it. I was planning on playing video games and having that movie on in the background, but for whatever reason, excuse me, I made the choice to actually just pay attention to the movie. One might think to themselves, well, that makes a lot of sense. The movie is, I do watch it with the subtitles. I don't think there is an English option. But if one wants to watch the movie, you're going to have to actually pay attention to it. My counter argument to that would be that since I've seen it so many times, already 3 times before my fourth rewatching, I do feel like I recognize the story for the most part. And so just by looking at the scenes, I'll be able to recognize where they're at in terms of the story, and I'll be able to get the context from the dialogue that's present. But again, for whatever reason, I made the choice to continue watching the movie instead of playing games. And before I knew it, the movie was over, the movie was done. And I was singing its praises when it was done. I actually had to share about it with my friends and family just because it's been a while since I saw it, and it's been a while since I've heard anyone talk about it as well. In fact, well, actually, maybe it hasn't been a while. The last time I did rewatch the movie was during the time when Parasite released, so about 2 to 3 years around that time period. But ever since then, the conversation has really died down. I remember telling a lot of people that movie was so popular, Parasite. I remember telling people they want more foreign films that are great. Not only The Host, which is made by the same individual, but there's also Kingdom, which is also on Netflix, a Korean film, not film, excuse me, a Korean television show that's very much like Game of Thrones with more traditional zombies. If one hasn't seen it, I highly do recommend that show as well. But we're here to discuss The Host. So what makes The Host so great are the whoever did the casting did an amazing job of picking the characters and the actors. I do have them listed right here, so as always, pardon me if I say the name incorrectly. Oh, pardon me. So it came out in Korea, South Korea in 2006, but it released internationally, or at least in America, March 9th, 2007. So about a year later. And it stars Kang Ho Song. Excuse me, everyone. Okay. I always forget at the top is the actor's name and the bottom is the character's name. So the actor is Kang Ho Song, who plays Park Gang Do. Hai Il Park, who plays Park Nam Il. Bae Dona, who plays Park Nam Jo. And the daughter, portrayed by Go Ah Sung. Her name is Park Hoyeon Seo. And then, of course, we have the dad, or the grandpa, whose character name is Park Hee Bong, who was portrayed by Byung Hee Bong. Excuse me. Again, forgive me if I mispronounced that. I know I probably butchered it. It's not on purpose. I struggle with pronouncing things in English as well. So, thank you for your patience, everyone. And just for because I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Scott Wilson, he has a minor role in the movie as well. Scott Wilson's Herschel Green from The Walking Dead. Anywho, but whoever did the casting did such a great job of picking the actors to go with the characters. One can't help but cheer for the family, but also jeer at them a little bit. When I say jeer, I'm more specifically thinking about the dad's character. So the father of Park Hyun Seo, or Park Gang Do. He's very infuriating. I'll be frank with everyone. I love the entire family, and I suppose I do like Park Gang Do as well. but I do have a lot of reservations when it comes to him as a parental figure. So there will be spoilers in this video, but the movie ends with unfortunately his daughter dead, and him adopting a son who was homeless, a son that a young boy who his daughter Park Hyo Seo sacrificed her life to save from the creature. This is a monster film. And I know the film was meant to be a happy ending, but I think personally for me, what would have made the ending stronger, and this is just my personal input, is if so the movie ends with the dad and the stepson inside the convenience store, not the convenience store, excuse me, the snack shop, the little snack store on the beach or riverside that was originally owned by the father or the grandpa, Park Hee Bong, who unfortunately passed away during the adventures of the movie. And the dad is being very alert. He has a gun nearby, and he's making food for himself and his stepson. And excuse me, everyone, cat fur went in my mouth. And once the food is ready, the stepson seems to be sleeping. But it's implied he's actually maybe just fake, pretending, not in a mean way, just because he's relaxing. Never had a warm place to sleep. Because as soon as the food is ready, he sets up right away. No need to stretch or rub one's eyes. And that's essentially how the movie ends. The camera zooms out from them, then it zooms out from the little snack shop. And I think for me personally, I would have kept that ending the same, except also included just a simple scene of as it zooms out from the inside for the two individuals eating, and it goes to the outside to the external location of the setting, that we see the uncle and the aunt, so Park Nam Il and Park Nam Jo, walking into the snack shop as well, getting ready to join Kang Hong Sung, getting ready to join Park Gang Do and the stepson. I know I'm not saying the stepson's name, so pardon me about that. Maybe I could find it really quickly right here. Oh yes, it's right here. And his name is portrayed, so Si-jo, portrayed by Dong Ho Ji. Again, pardon me for the names. But the reason why I would like that for the title, I'm not the title, for the ending more, is just because I feel like the movie really does a great job of showing how when this family works together, things can get done, even though that they were a dysfunctional family. The uncle is an alcoholic. The daughter seems to have some, what's the word, confidence issues. She doesn't seem to be insecure, just that at the time and moment, she seems to flounder a little bit, kind of like if one is reading along with Digimon Liberator, the comic side, like Shoto. He's really good at the card battling game, but when it comes to the actual 3D world aspect, the VR aspect of the game Liberator, that takes the card game and makes it quote-unquote real, he struggles with that. So kind of like that as well. It's not that he's insecure, it's just a lack of confidence for both the aunt's character with the Shoto, who she's talking about. The dad, I would argue, he seems to brush things under the dad, not being the daughter's dad, father, but rather the grandpa slash dad, Park Heo Bong. I would argue that he seems, as I was saying, push things under the carpet, avoid things, and hopefully things will get done. And then, of course, lastly but not least, we have Park Hang-do, who I would argue the movie does. It doesn't state it. Oh, no, wait. I think the dad does say something about this, actually. A small liner comment. That's why I'm laughing. That something happened to him when he was young. Happened to Park Gang-do. But Park Gang-do, it seems to be implied that his mental facilities are not all there. He's a little bit special, and yeah. So, despite all these issues that this family has, I love how they're able to come together and accomplish what they set out to do originally. Yes, they do lose their father. Yes, they do end up having into some minor squabbles here and there. But the point of the fact is that the conclusion of the movie would never have occurred if it wasn't for this family putting aside the differences. Not even putting aside the differences, but learning how to overcome their. Let me rephrase that. Putting aside the differences, overcoming their personal issues. There you go. I like that more. And then coming together to work as a community. The end, and this film has so many different characters too. This film does such a great job. So I'm going to move away from the characters of the rich to talk about the overall narrative of this film. On paper, it seems like it wouldn't work. We have a dad working with his son, whose daughter is also seems to be living with them. The dad's two other kids, they have issues, but at least they're doing their own thing. I haven't talked about this, but Park Nam Il, besides, well, he's an alcoholic because it's implied that he can't find a job despite doing everything correctly, which I'm sure a lot of us could relate to, especially in today's time. He is college educated, he has a degree, but unfortunately at this time, there's a surplus of college graduates, and thus Park Na-mil can't find a job. And then the sister, again, even though she's doing quite well for herself in the sports world, her confidence is really starting to impact her. And then we have, besides that, a random doctor, two scenes with doctors that talks about one that causes the incident of the movie, and the other one that just talks about essentially propaganda. It's misinformation that's being spread about. There's no disease, there's no sickness that's being spread out. And then we have a homeless individual who ends up helping the brother, who ends up helping the whole family as a whole. And then the homeless children who make their random appearance in the film. It's just so many different aspects that, again, on paper, it wouldn't seem like it'll work. But, what's the director's name? I don't know him by memory. But Bong Joon-ho, he also co-wrote the movie. Let me see, who's the other writer? Let me see if I could quickly figure that out. Oh, it was multiple writers. So, Bong Joon-ho, Ha Jong-won, and then lastly but not least, Baek Cho-hyun. So again, the writers did such a great job of making all these pieces, these different pieces connect together to make one unifying, one single film that's honestly just connected because of this creature, this monster. I'm not really talking about the creature too much because the film's greatest strength is within its characters. If one watches this film, it wouldn't surprise me if they were going to have a favorite character, and they don't actually have a non-favorite. I know I'm being a little bit harsh with Park. Excuse me, again, I don't know these names by memory, pardon me. But with the father's character, not the grandpa, but the special dad, Park Gong-do. But I still do like him, and I do like how he demonstrates accountability here and there. He obviously does love his family, love his daughter specifically. It's just that he doesn't always do the best actions to demonstrate that love. But again, the strength in this movie is within its characters. But I really do need to discuss the creature as well. This creature who is created because of mismanagement by U.S. scientists of getting rid of chemicals into the Han River. I believe it's the Han River. I won't look it up, it's fine. And we see that rather than remedying the corrections, America kind of doubles down. Or maybe I should just say America. I would argue that America is meant to represent the West as a whole, not just America. But later on, when the movie has the opportunity for the West to correct their errors, to correct their mistakes about this quote-unquote disease, they instead double down. They quite literally have a doctor, the Herschel Green's character, looking at Park's character and stating, oh, wow, he's completely healthy, everything's fine. But nope, everything, it must be in here, it must be inside the brain. We're going to go ahead and figure this issue out. What makes this movie so interesting is that even the monster, despite it having no dialogue or anything like that, and obviously being the antagonist of the film, or one of the antagonists at least, I would argue that the government would be the other antagonist. One does have empathy and sympathy towards this creature at the end. So again, spoilers, the creature is defeated, and one just can't help but feel it was just a fish that got mutated due to the decisions and actions of human beings. This creature was not killing people to be malicious or to be an apex predator. Well, maybe that was what it was doing, right? It was just trying to set up its territory. But when I said an apex predator, I mean that it wasn't actively scaring people away in the same way that like wolves, lion prides, packs of hyenas do, and coyotes and etc. This sea creature was essentially aquatic creature, was essentially just minding its own business, and unfortunately it got mutated, and so its business took it up into the human parts of its environment, right? So yes, it sucks that it's killing all these people. It sucks that it kills the young daughter by accident. But again, it's only doing so because it wants to eat. And one has ever seen Annihilation, for example. There's a scene with a mutated bear that has the genes of a bear combined with the human being, and it kills another human being. But the movie seems to imply that that bear does not want to eat. It just kills the human being because of its human aspect, the human nature of its DNA. Bears, when they kill, they do so to eat. That's part of the animalistic nature. It's humans who we kill just because it's quote-unquote fun to kill. When I say fun, I don't stand by that statement. But unfortunately, there are some individuals who have that kind of mindset, right? Unfortunately. and hopefully they're getting the help that they need to be not hurting anyone within their community and within society. But hopefully one that knows what I'm referring to or what I'm trying to get at. When it comes to the creature, it was not an evil force, it was just a natural force. And so that's kind of why a natural force that was forced to evolve unnaturally. And that's why that I one will more than likely have sympathy and empathy for this creature by the end of the film. If one hasn't seen it, I highly do recommend it. I do have to make a video just to discuss. I really was not a fan of the movie Parasite, mostly because of the class commentary that the movie was doing. I really couldn't get behind the working class family, especially because as an individual who grew up low income and working class as well. I would really dislike it if I was working and then someone got my job removed from me because they want it for their own family, or if my mom or my mom was working and same thing, someone manipulated the situation so she was fired and she was actually innocent. But that's neither here or there. If one has enjoyed, I'm only mentioning it because again, Parasite's the more well-known movie from this director. But if one enjoyed Parasite, I can almost guarantee that you're more than likely going to adore and love The Host. The Host is just, despite the deaths and despite, I would say it's a dark humor movie. It has elements of dark humor. It's definitely, I would say, a family-friendly movie. It emphasizes the importance of family, the importance of working together and coming together despite, as I said earlier, one's issues, personal issues, and despite one's differences. And not only about family though, but also just about community in general, like with the homeless children and then the homeless man. The homeless man was actually really awesome. His name, is this his name? I believe this is his name, Yellow One, portrayed by Kim Ro Ha. No, excuse me. My bad. Pardon everyone. His name is just Homeless Man, and he's portrayed by Yoon Ji Moon. What an amazing character! Just he's only amazing because again, what seems like it'll be a disjointed character that shouldn't work within this film. The reason why it works is because it connects to the theme of governance, the government being incompetent during this time where order is needed. So I feel like I've been talking enough about this film. I highly do recommend it if one hasn't seen it. Again, it's called The Host. It came out in 2006 in Korea, in 2007. I'm going to assume internationally, but for sure March 7th, at least for America. If you have seen it, please let me know what are your thoughts. Did you enjoy the movie as well? Are there any other creature films that you would recommend that I haven't seen yet? I've obviously seen the Godzilla American films. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. But yeah, so as always, I really do appreciate you guys listening, watching. I hope you guys all have a great day and take care.